I'm Ron Schutz. I blog, I write books. I've been in the financial services industry for over 5 decades, which equates to today about 110,000 hours that I've been at this. I hope you find each of these videos informative and thought-provoking. My goal was to make them educational. I hope I achieved that objective. Thank you for watching. Okay, let's talk briefly about capitalists. For some reason during my lifetime, I've seen this get a negative connotation. I'm not really sure. You know, they talk about fair income and income distribution and things that are out there, but I believe we all have a finite amount of time, and as we move along in our life, obviously we have less time, and some of us are careful and put away money for that period where we're no longer going to be working or generating income. But really, paychecks come from capitalists. When you have a startup example, they talk about the burn rate. That's how much money they're spending more than they're bringing in. And it comes from people that believe in the product or service that a company is offering because they have a hope for in the future that it might be worth something else or a greater value. There are a number of examples out there. Right now, your top 5 technology companies come to mind, and they're the ones that are driving the S&P 500 as an example. So at this point in time, if you took those 5 stocks out of the S&P 500, the S&P would actually have a small negative return. There are other times that changes. When I first came along, it was the Nifty 50. The statement was, if you own these 50 stocks, you are set for life. Well, a number of those companies don't even exist anymore. You know, we live in a dynamic society where things are changing. So here's an example of what happens to capitalists. This shows the S&P 500 for the prior 3 years before COVID hit. And then what happened in March and April is you lost essentially 3 years worth of progress in less than 30 days. And the market has now started to come back up and it's moved back up into this area here. As I'm speaking today, we're been kissing this dotted line. But what's a fair tax for somebody who is willing to take this kind of extreme ride where whoosh, all of that gets erased? I think half the tax rates. So again, if you up to the top 10%, you'd pay a 5% capital gains rate. And if you're above the 10% threshold, which is roughly $12,000 a month, then you pay a 10% tax on your capital because you had to save and pay taxes to have money that you put in your account. So if I have $100 in my pocket and I'm in a 30% tax bracket, I had to give the government $50 to have that 100. And if I choose to put the 100 to work and it drops precipitously, suddenly, it finally comes back, what is a fair tax for that? Taxed once, taxed twice? I mean, where does it stop? So this is just, again, an opinion on my side. It's easy to go after capitalists, and maybe that's why we try to talk about raising tax on capital, but it generally will have a negative impact on the economy.